talking about a preemptive strike. Wanted to talk to you guys this evening about a little bit of finances. We're not gonna make this too long. Laying in bed trying to enjoy some splendid telly or some online viewing because I don't really watch television like that. Like I don't watch network TV. But yeah, wanted to talk a little bit about finances with your partner or your significant other. Your boyfriend, girlfriend, your wife or people in general, but more closely related to love relationships. Now, we all know that men are more attractive, they're more confident, the more money they have. Women are more confident or they're more attractive. They find themselves more attractive, in regard when they feel like they look better, looks and things like that. Confidence goes a long way. It's funny how some women will try their best to look good, but they have no confidence in the inside. So, um, with that comes with spending a lot of money and things like that. But we're gonna get into it. Starting off with, men. Men are builders. Men build up their financial resources. However, they can build up their financial resources. There's no way or around it, or no doubt about it. Men have been builders for years. Who do you think built the Empire State Building? Who do you think built your car? Who do you think built your cell phone? Who do you think came up with these ideas? Not to say that women can't be intelligent as well, because we know throughout history women have contributed in a myriad of ways of doing things. But yeah, men tend to be more confident with their finances. That's not everyone. Some people are, they're just them. Money doesn't make or break them, especially when you've been through certain things or you've had a certain season of your life where you've had as much money that you can possibly want and you realize that it's nothing. So, watch out for, reparations. They're going to be trying to, if they ever do get into talks about reparations, best believe it that they're going to be spreading the corona through the dollar bill. So, whether they're going to cut you a check and give you cash money or deposit it directly into your bank account and tell you to come get a vaccine shot, be careful. Money is not the root of all evil, but it can burn you sometimes. Let's just put it that way. So, men tend to work, two, three, four, five jobs. I don't know why. There's a reason why men die earlier than their spouses. They spend their whole lives working, and then they end up dying and leaving their family behind. So, I don't know what type of life that is to live, but you want to we cherish your resources. If a man can have sex with a woman in a cardboard box, he would. But guess what? Women like nice, fancy things, so that's why men have to spend their money on nice cars and homes and colorful things and jewelries and all that to impress women. Men don't really spend money like that. We have we like our toys basically, man. You can't you have to realize you'll find a 50-year-old that buys a brand new pickup truck, yes, to drive around in if he feels that that's what he wants to do, or whatever the case may be. Whatever your liking is your liking. We can say the same thing about women that like to travel the world or get flown out places and things like that. But I want to try to make this video as short as possible. Sometimes men can get into, weird things. And again, this is not anything personal to me. A lot of these activities is weird activities. Y'all know I'm into paranormal stuff, paranormal activities, but I ain't into no weird simp activities, and things like that. So, I definitely stack my money and stack it where it needs to be stacked. Leave it there for a rainy day. Can't put it in the ground because it doesn't grow like seeds, though. But men have their habits with certain things. We go out. Where if you read one, or if you've watched any of my videos in the past and you've learned about empathy, men care for their families. We're empathic. We show. I mean, it just says in the Bible. Love your women. Men are very empathic. We show love. People may not understand it. We may have some people in this world that are very selfish on their end, or may perceive certain actions or thoughts as selfish. But everyone has their own truth. Truth can be bended, opinionated truth. But hopefully, I'm not talking to kids in this video. Everyone should be well versed. I'm 34 years old, so whether you're 21 or you're 41, you should be able to understand some of these things that I'm talking about. There's no excuses behind these different situations that we find ourselves in, or any type of situations that you find yourself in. Water's good, water's good, but you can also drown in the pool. So no matter how much money you have, the more money you have, the more you're going to get taxed for it. So what are we really, put down? But if you're in a relationship, comment down below your significant other. If you have a boyfriend or a father or a husband, what bad financial habits do they have? So I'm going to talk about women. The only way a man can really attract a woman, well, the number one way a man can attract a woman, just like how women put their ass on social media, men put their money on social media as well. Men flash their money. It's like that sometimes. But women they're just attracted to these things. They like changes. They like change of scenery. They like colors. They like jewels, diamonds. You just listen to the commercials and the things that you heard in the past. Diamonds are a girl's best friend and things like that. Even now, you can't even get a girl's attention unless you drop breakfast, lunch, and dinner money into her Cash App. It's so rude. But we would talk about, you know, if a woman could be happy with a broke man, or if a man can be happy with a broke woman. These different types of concepts and things that we need to talk about and explain. Women just like these types of things, and it is in a man's best interest to keep his queen happy, to keep money coming in, to not get lazy, to have a perpetual financial income base and things like that. But when you have women that like to party, women that can't really think for themselves, that let other people tell them what to do, women that like to gamble, women that like to spend money on Birkin bags and clothes, because again, their way of attaining beauty is to spend on different things, whether it's makeup or any type of prosthetics or surgery. It's just weird things that we're getting into nowadays. But we don't take accountability for, if someone dumps you because you're wasting their time, or you're wasting their money, or you're wasting their resources. So, when it comes to the question of, whether you should even be dating without any resources, man or woman, and it's funny in some cases, women actually can make more than their spouse, and they don't have a problem with that. So there's ebb and flows. There's different ways to work these different situations and these different life experiences, but we have to be honest about these things. Men do the things that they do, and women do the things that they do. You have things like joint bank accounts and separate bank accounts, but when the topic of a joint bank account comes up, who's the one that's normally initiating those types of ideas, and for what reasons? But yeah, I mean, I can use different examples. Just look at insects, bugs and things like that. Even animals in the animal kingdom, the female animal is normally bigger than the male animals. In some instances, they eat them right after mating. Come here, let me bite your head off. You're dead now. Even with humans, I remember growing up in middle school, elementary school, middle school, and high school. 90% of the chicks that I was attracted to was either bigger than me, taller than me, or whatever the case may be. Not now because I'm a grown ass man, but even as a grown ass man, in my culture, I notice overweight women. I mean, these things are, I'm not just making up things, and they don't come from, and they're not just coming from anywhere. There's a whole reason why KFC or McDonald's is $1 billion companies. Women like to spend money. They like to rent, not buy. They like to rent and finance cars. They have an issue with getting out and walking. Again, hence, don't act like, it's just men that's not providing for you or things like that. I mean, these women won't even get out and walk to the corner store. Once they get a car, it's like, see, here's the problem. You purchase a car, not even purchase, you're renting a car. So that's money coming out of your paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or every month. So and when you have a car, you have to have gas, right? And then women can't sit themselves still. They have to have a change of scenery, or they always have to be doing something. That's why, as a man, you have to be able to calm a woman's mind so she's not worrying about things so much. I'm not just getting on here and bashing chicks or bashing dudes. But these females get these cars, they finance these cars, on top of having to pay for gas and maintain the car. They can't sit home for a half an hour or an hour. They have to get out and do something. So it's always getting out and doing something, wasting gas, going somewhere. And every time you leave the house, you're spending money. So not only are you paying for a car, not only are you wasting gas, you can't sit home for an hour. You're always out doing something. Every single time you leave the house, you're spending money as well. So it's like, can a woman be happy with a broke man, or can a man be happy with a woman that likes to spend, you know, excessive amount of resources and things like that? So it's an interesting topic that we all have to come to grips with of having at some point. These are interesting times. It's good for us to, talk about these things now before they become a bigger part and a bigger problem in the future. The idea of foresight, it should not be foreign or should not be so weird, or the terms that I use, you shouldn't be so weirded out about them. Grab a dictionary, grab an encyclopedia. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys today. You guys know I'm not in the habit of making extended, super long videos. I can get long-winded, but I just wanted to chat with you guys about this particular financial, thing. So comment down below if you're a man, and you have a girlfriend or a daughter or a mother or a wife. Have you noticed any bad financial habits that women have? When you're trying to build up your finances and things like that. Any type of overspending. Things like not cooking in the kitchen because they're always out and about. They're not home cooking and cleaning and these gender roles and things like that. They're always out and about. You know, doing the things that they do. So Um, what else or what advice? I don't want to get on here and rant and talk about problems. What types of advice could I give you guys? Just make sure that you are on, to build yourself up before you get into any type of entanglements or relationships. Evaluate your friends, families, and business partners, associates. Figure out what type of financial habits that people have. Whether it be good or bad, you can work with someone that has, good financial habits or bad financial habits from a distance. But you guys be safe, man. I'm about to get married and watch me some good old telly. Be safe.